Hey guys and girls, what's going on? I'm out here on a gloomy day in the woods, and I figured I'd take this opportunity to do a little bit of a review of this USWE Raw 8-pack that I've been running for the last few months. I probably have probably close to 80 hours on it, honestly, already. And when I was buying it, I didn't see a ton of reviews aside from Billy Bolt saying this thing is kick-ass and that's what you need to get, which, you know, he obviously knows what he's talking about, but he also is sponsored by them, so, you know, but I figure a lot of people like him, so I got one. I tried it, and the short answer, or the short review, is that it is pretty cool. I really enjoy it. I used to run a fanny pack and a backpack for water, a fanny pack for tools and other stuff, and I was glad I kind of switched to an all-in-one system. So I think the first thing to cover is kind of what is this pack intended for and what is it designed for. So it's definitely designed for dirt biking, and I'll go through the materials and stuff why I think it's designed for dirt biking, but I think it's really, the Raw 8 specifically is good for like a minimalist off-road rider. So if you need to carry 3 liters of water and some very basic tools and supplies, I think this Raw 8 is a good size. If you just want to carry water, they have a smaller size. If you want to carry a little bit more, you will want a bigger size. So I'll show you kind of what's inside of it, but really just for racing, for maybe hard enduro where you need to carry some tools, and for just trail riding where you're not really too far from the truck, but you still want to have some basic, you know, tools and first aid with you in case you run into a situation. So it's got a little bit of room, but not too much. It's still very lightweight, and like I said, it carries 3 liters of water, which is important if you're riding in hot situations and you're riding hard. You usually want 1 liter to 1.5 liters of water per hour of riding is kind of what I found I need, at least, to not be dehydrated. All right, so we'll go through the pockets and stuff that it has real quick here. So it's got this little pocket on the outside. It honestly is very small. You put some zip ties and paper towels and maybe some gels and stuff in here. So I have my little key to adjust the bark busters. I have apparently a couple goggle wipes. I was wondering where all those went. So that's the very outside pocket. Then there's this inside pocket, or mid pocket, I guess. And this has a decent amount of room. So essentially what I have in here is the KTM toolkit. I'm riding Husqvarna, so I actually think their factory toolkits are pretty good. I've added a couple things, like I have these Motion Pro wrenches, which are good specifically for the chain. If you throw your chain and you need to mess with the chain adjusters, these are really handy. And then I have a multi-tool, which is really good, and then spare lever and a spark plug in here, and a chain link. So very basic. Some tape. You saw some zip ties in the other pocket. So this is, you know, the absolute minimum really that you want to, well, you could have possibly get away with like a multi-tool, but realistically that's probably the minimum you want to hit the trails with. And then there's this big pocket, which is actually pretty big. So I have probably 2.5 liters of water in here. And that's a nice thing about the 3-liter water bladder, is that you can actually get more room in the pack if you just don't fill it up all the way. Like if you're riding out on a day like today, you realistically are not going to get dehydrated because it's barely 40 degrees. So it's pretty cold. So you're not sweating a lot. So you could probably get away with like 1 liter of water and just pre-hydrating really well. Or if you're riding, if you're riding a race and you know it's going to be a 1-hour race, you can just splash some water in there and you don't need to carry all that water. So it's good. honestly, I think this is a good size of pack and good size bladder for general all-purpose use, because if you don't need 3 liters of water, just don't put it in there. It will weigh a half an ounce extra, so it's not a big deal. But then there's this stretchy pocket here. That's good for, like, I have my wallet, I have my car key in here, and then it actually goes down. You can kind of see this material here. It goes down quite a bit, so you can actually stuff a bunch of stuff in here. Like, I'll have my inReach in here. I have a pretty decent sized first aid kit in here, and there's still a decent amount of room if you really start packing things down in there. Actually, I have a granola bar in here too. See? So there's all kinds of stuff in there. And I can usually even stuff a trail saw in here as well. So there's a good amount of room. Like, you can carry things. But I will say, if you're hitting the trails on a big ride, you know, you're going to be 20 miles away from the truck up on a mountain type of thing, where you might be in a situation where you might need to spend the night or have serious bike issues. There's not enough space for a jump pack. There's not enough space for tubes or tire tools or quick steel or a big sandwich, or really any very serious tools or first aid, or like obviously tents, sleeping bags. I always carry a little Mylar blanket, but you know, that's not really shelter. So this is you know, absolute minimum. You're not going to be carrying tons of like oil or any other stuff. So if you are doing that, there's a bigger pack. You can just do that. There's no shortage of backpacks out there. This is really just for like half day, hit the trails, fast and light type of thing. So that's kind of the inside of it. That's really about it. You can see there's nice things. There's a separate pocket for the bladder, so it doesn't get all your stuff doesn't get wet. And the bladder is attached here with this Velcro. It doesn't really move because it kind of cinches down to your body. The only other thing I'll mention about the related to pockets is these straps on the bottom, which look a little gimmicky. Honestly, at first I thought, you know, maybe I'll just cut them off, because they seem like they're like, what are you going to strap to the back of this thing? But then I actually used it, and I'll roll in a picture here. A couple times now, or actually 3 or 4 times, I stuffed a little puffy, you know, Patagucci jacket under here, and then I also used it for like a rain windbreaker type of thing, and it works really well. I did an entire enduro with the jacket stuffed in here, and it didn't go anywhere. It's actually very, very solid. All right, so construction wise, I think this bag is very high quality and very durable. The material that it's made out of is kind of, I think they might call this ballistic nylon. I'm not a material expert, so I don't know. But it's the same kind of thing that you'd find on like a backpacking backpack. It almost feels like Cordura, but I don't think it is. So it probably is some sort of nylon. And it's very durable. So it's very nice. It is somewhat waterproof. I think it's treated with DWR because it doesn't really get very wet inside if you just splash it with water. Occasionally I'll just even hose it off if it's really muddy, and the stuff inside stays kind of dry. You know, obviously none of these zippers are water resistant, so it's not waterproof. They don't advertise it to be waterproof, but if you're going to get caught in a small rain, your stuff is probably not going to get too soaked in there, or, you know, if you splash some puddles. So that's really good. The straps are really durable. It's the same kind of material. I really like that there's this kind of foam here, because this makes it sit a little bit further away from your back. So it works really well with that. And so fitment wise, I'm 5'11", 180 pounds, 40-inch chest. This fits me great. It sits pretty high on your back, which is actually awesome because it allows you a lot of movement in your hips, and it kind of exposes your lower back to airflow. So you actually get less hot, I noticed, versus a backpack and fanny pack system that I've used before. So I'm very happy with the fitment. I'm not going to go through this whole strap thing because there's a million videos about that online. The only thing I will mention is what differentiates it from the competition is the fact that it's stretchy. So you see a lot of these systems on like a bunch of other brands I'm not even going to go into, but none of them have this stretchy material in them. I know because I have those bags. So this one is significantly more comfortable because of the stretchiness. The other ones, you can make it really tight so it doesn't bounce and then you can't breathe, or you can make it so you can breathe really well and then it bounces. This stretchy thing solves both problems. I don't know why everybody doesn't do it. It's a game changer for me. And it fits. It's very adjustable. There's adjustments here, there's adjustments here. I'd say if you get one of these, you do need to play with it a little bit to get it comfortable, and then you also need to let it break in a little bit. At first it's kind of like stiff, you feel like it's like constricting your breathing. Ride with it a couple times, give it a chance. At first I thought I was not going to like it. After riding with it a few times, it's awesome. I'm glad I let it break in a little. So it fits fantastic. That's definitely a standout feature. So as far as durability goes, like I was saying, I've had this for about a half a year. I haven't been super easy on it. I've fallen on it definitely a bunch of times. You can see there's a lot of marks from trees and dirt and other stuff, and it's been pretty durable. Nothing's ripped. All the zippers work. So even though it's been very, very muddy before as well, I need to clean it better. Yeah, so I'm very happy with the durability so far. Nothing's fraying, nothing's ripping. So another quick note on the material. This is something that I've heard all over the internet, that people are saying that USWE packs don't last a long time. I think what's going, and at the same time, I see a lot of people riding with the Outlander packs, which I actually also have an Outlander pack, and I will do a comparison video of the two. So I check the link, or check the description if I've already done it. It's going to be in the description, and I'll put a card up in the video as well, so you can click on. But the Outlander is very similar, and USWE doesn't do a very good job of explaining this, but the Outlander is similar, but it's made out of completely different materials. The Outlander is made out of like a tent material, like very thin ripstop material. It is way less heavy duty than this. So this is heavier, obviously, but it is significantly more durable. You can probably slide this down the highway. I think the Outlander, you hit a branch and it will rip probably. So again, that's not a dig at the Outlander. The Outlander is super light. Like I said, I have it. I use it for trail running and mountain biking, for which it's awesome. But being out here in this bushy stuff, I need something that's a little bit more beefy. All right, so just to summarize my already very long review of the USWE Raw 8, the things that I like about it is I think it's the perfect size for the kind of stuff that I like to do for the majority of my riding. I think it looks cool. It's very durable. It's super comfortable. It doesn't impair my movement at all. I really like these bottom straps. They add a lot of flexibility. And it's kind of a one and done pack that I can wear. That's got my tools, my first aid, a snack, possibly a trail saw, and water, and a jacket if I need it. I don't need a fanny pack. I don't need the backpack. I don't need multiple pieces of gear. It's very, the materials are really nice, and everything about it feels quality. All right, so the nitpicks are, I think this outside pocket here is kind of useless. Honestly, I just wish they made the inside pocket a little bit bigger, or made this outside pocket a little bit more stretchy. because right now, like, you know, it just holds an Allen key and some zip ties, and mostly because I felt bad for this pocket and I felt like I needed to put something in it. The other thing is I wish it had a key clip on the inside, or somewhere, honestly, because right now everything in there pretty much it's not loosey-goosey because it's tight, but there is a chance that, you know, you're taking something out of there and you can drop your keys on the ground accidentally. So a key clip would be nice and easy to do, especially for a pack that costs over $100. And then the other thing, again, for a pack that costs over $100 and is, you know, honestly kind of like super engineered, is I wish it had a whistle on this thing. Like, it is a pretty good thing to have if you're riding in the woods. You know, it happens, you fall off the trail and you need to call for help. Having a whistle on this is super nice. Those are nitpicks. They're really, you know, nothing that's actually wrong with the bag. It would be just a few features that would be kind of nice to have. But other than that, great bag. Hope you guys found this a little bit more in-depth review interesting. Yeah, thank you for watching.